How do I get ripped? How do I gain muscle? How do I gain strength without compromising my values, my faith, or integrity? Or as I like to call it, not taking steroids but still getting the result that you want. Guys, this is a controversial topic for a lot of people because some people are on one side saying, like, you have to put in all this hard work anyways. If you're on steroids, you're not just going to get this physique overnight. And I agree, you have to put in hard work. But on the flip side of that, I believe it's a shortcut. I believe you're completely cheating yourself of all the perseverance, belief, patience, grit, intensity, sacrifice, doing what the majority will not do in order to stick to it for a long enough period of time to get your results. It takes a lot longer, but in my opinion, it makes the journey so much more valuable that when you have this natural physique, it's not just based on some third-party tool that was allowing you to get the extra edge. Like, what if that tool one day doesn't work for you, or it's taking off all these years of your life that you could be spending with your family. I really feel, guys, that staying natural is the way to go about powerlifting, is the way to go about bodybuilding, because it teaches you so much more about yourself. There's so much more depth to it. I'm completely against it. And the reason why I'm against it, man, is because I really find the value of the gym is the means to the ends of a better life. It's not the ends. The gym isn't everything, guys. And even though I love the gym so much, and I've been in the gym for like the last 11 or 12 years, working my ass off every single day, absolutely killing myself, loving the process, dominating powerlifting competitions, being single digits body fat year round for years on end. I love this. I absolutely love it. And my brothers in the gym who are on gear and stuff, like, I love them too. Like, they're my friends. They're great people. But I highly encourage you guys, like, staying natural is so deeply ingrained to what I teach because I believe it represents integrity. I believe that it represents, like, following through on something that's really difficult and having to take, the long route, the hard route, which I believe it just puts so much belief in myself and perseverance in myself. Seeing other guys that take these shortcuts and stuff like that, it just never for me, bro. And to give you an idea about why I believe that, it's probably got to take you. Probably got to take you back to when I first started training, when I'm looking at, like, why I got in the gym in the first place. And I got in the gym for a couple reasons, guys. So I started training in about the holidays of 2012. So we're 2024 now. That's about 12 years ago. So the summer holidays, between year 11 and year 12, and I was about 72 kilos. I was playing heaps of football, soccer, and I was a striker, a centre forward. So my team was getting ready to basically, like, go for a premiership run the next year. Really wanted to win this trophy. It was super important to me. And previous years, like, we'd come up short a couple times, and I just absolutely love playing football, man. And in my position, I'd be like the guy responsible for scoring the goals, right? So I'd be right at the front, but I'd always have two defenders on my back. And in order for me to receive the ball and be able to turn or be able to push these defenders off and bounce the ball back to get a quick 1-2 with one of my teammates, I had to make sure I was strong enough to hold them off. Now, guys, I'm pretty naturally strong. I've always been strong, but I realized that, like, the guys who really want to take their game to the next level, they have to train, they have to practice, they have to elevate it, they have to, look after their body, not just, like, go through it and just be like some aerobic athlete, like a marathon runner. No, like, you actually have to strengthen your body. So I was like, I got to put some size on, man. I want to be stronger. And there was also a bit of self-confidence too, man. Like, I wasn't happy with the way that I looked. I was super lanky. Like, guys, I'm about 87, 88 kilos today, but generally hang around that 90 kilo, 93 kilo range. And you can imagine, like, about 20 kilos off my frame, the same height. You can imagine how skinny, how lanky I was. And so I had this, like, pool noodle arms and like the skinniest little toothpick legs. And so I just was unhappy with how I looked in the mirror. I was lean, but it doesn't mean anything when you have no muscle. So for me, I was, like, unhappy with where I wanted to be. I wanted to be jacked. I wanted to be ripped. I wanted to be like Goku and Vegeta. I wanted to be strong. And then I wanted to look just like them too. So I remember I was, like, in all my classes drawing up, like, these visions for my future of, like, me in, like, a Manchester United jersey. Got the number 10 on the back, but, like, my lats are, like, huge. I've got this Goku hair. I've got these big arms. That's how I was drawing and envisioning my future. And, like, that's how I started, just, like, envisioning where I wanted to go. And so I really started, guys, with the strength. It was always strength first. And so when I've come into the gym, I made sure that my approach to training was specific to getting better at football, meaning it wasn't just about, the aesthetic process. Again, guys, like I said, there's multiple reasons why I came in the gym. One was to be dominant and to crush my opponents on the field, but it was also because I wanted to look a particular way. So it was a bit of a mix of both, but the priority was strength. And I think that really laid the foundation for me in terms of making that decision of whether or not I was going to stay natural, because you get in the gym and you start looking at these different influences and different bodybuilders and that kind of stuff, and different powerlifters and just different, like, athletes over time that have taken gear, and you look up to them and you're like, damn, that guy looks huge, he looks great. And when you're young, you're very impressionable. And I noticed, like, the first couple of years of me lifting and stuff, I noticed a lot of my friends, go start using gear, and I see different side effects of that. And I look at guys' habits today and where they repeat them, how that goes in the future. And so I look at, like, the future consequences of this. I go into it as a student, not just someone who's blindly going in and expecting to get the result that I want, right? So I sat down, like I'm saying to you guys now, you got to ask these deep questions so that later you haven't just made a bad choice, which you may not be able to repair. And so I looked at what the side effects of steroids were. I looked at, like, am I willing to pay that price of taking years off my life that I want to spend with my loved ones? And I was like, no, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth having the health problems and complications just so I can look a particular way to impress some third party, or even to just impress myself with a little bit more muscle. It wasn't worth it to me, because it was like, I want the strength for life, not just for 10 years or 15 or 20 years, depending on how much stuff you want to take. I didn't want to do that. It wasn't worth it to me. And so my priority from day one was getting strong. And then I knew that if I had the right training, the right nutrition, that eventually the physique would catch up to me as well. So when I was thinking about, like, how to not compromise my values, how to not compromise my integrity, how to not compromise my faith, it all came back to where do I want to go, how long am I in this for, and then the path kind of revealed as I walked it. But at that point in time, I just made the decision, I'm going to stay natural, I'm never going to touch anything. And I think that it's been the best way to go about this, because no matter what adversity or challenging part of my life that I've had, I've always had the gym to come back to, and I've never really lost much size or much strength in that period of time, because I've done it the right way. I wasn't leaning on some third-party substance or a drug to try and make me more than who I was. It was all built with hard work and sweat and perseverance and grit and intensity and integrity. I remember when COVID came around, there's so many guys who just, like, completely dropped off because they didn't have the gym. Well, me, I was still there. Like, I built my own home gym. I kept going. I kept showing up. All these guys that were on steroids and stuff just kind of quit because it was their whole personality. But for me, it was like the gym was just a means to the ends of a better life. I know that it's going in there for the mental side and the mental fortitude and the gains there, so I have to keep going. And now, guys, I'm not just completely just writing off everyone on steroids, because it's not true. There's great people. There's so many of my friends, take this stuff, and for me, I'm like, I get it. Like, that's your path and your goals, but I want to steer young men away from that, because I don't want to lose my friends in 10 years or in 5 years or in 20 years time, when they could have had the rest of my life together. You know what I mean? But they're willing to compromise the short-term temporary rewards for long-term not being around for, like, their loved ones and their family, because they've got these health problems. And it's just not worth it, man. Like, for what? When you can track your diet, train intensely, and actually apply yourself day in, day out and get the results. The thing is, guys, when you actually apply yourself in the diet and, like, track your macros to the gram, like the right amount of proteins, carbs, fats, calories, and you just stick to this for a long period of time, you can get your results. Like, I've broken down in my other videos how you can lose the fat, how you can gain the muscle, and how to do it naturally, guys. It's actually so much easier than you think, but it just takes the perseverance of the individual and being able to show up for a consistent period of time and learn the lessons through failure and getting back up and just not quitting on yourself. And I think that you're really robbing yourself of that opportunity if you go and take steroids, if you go and take these performance-enhancing drugs, because you're taking a shortcut that you can't rely on if one day your body is adapted to it, or, come off cycle and you lose all your strength and you're like, who am I? It's like you were just basing yourself on this third-party thing, man. It's a different reason that you show up. It's a different why. My why was to be the best version of myself and my loved ones. My why was to look and be as strong as Goku and Vegeta, so that I could have the strength, the character, the perseverance, the belief of getting back up after I fail, like the resilience, like never giving up on myself, always just believing in, like, wanting to be the strongest the person I could possibly be in every single way. Like, that was my why. It wasn't just about football. Like, that disappeared like probably a week or two into the gym when I started pushing myself and experiencing the hate from third parties about people that didn't want me to achieve my goal, and hearing my friends talk behind my back about me and talking to my face, like saying, you shouldn't be doing this, or like, kind of mocking me as I'm transforming along this path. It very quickly turned into, rather than just performance based about the training or whatever like that, or rather about the aesthetics to impress a girl or something like that, or just to look better in the mirror, it ended up turning into something that just I could be proud of. And hello, doggy. How you going, mate? G'day. And so, where is that, man? We let the dogs out. So when I started, it did start as something that was going for the strength, going for the aesthetics. But very soon after that, as I developed, falling in love with the process of converting pain into purpose, feeling what it felt like to train past failure, and watching other people drift off that because they weren't willing to pay the price to live the life they wanted to live. They wanted to get in, not put the work in, quit when it got hard. I just saw it so much more as a mental transformation and a mental strength and a mental elevation to make me a better man, rather than just the physical input and output of training with the weights to just get jacked. Now guys, if you do want to go and get jacked, if you do want to, get ripped, get lean, keep it 24/7, 365, go watch my other video. It details exactly how to do that. I'm going to keep breaking down limiting beliefs, excuses, different lessons that I've learned in my videos, so that you guys can ask these questions, lean on someone who's gone through the failures of life and the successes of life too, without having to go and learn it all yourself, man. Yeah, man, it just stay natty, bro. It ain't worth it, bro. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. You can really get so much more out of the gym and your training and just the mental edge on everyone else, when you can rock up and you can smash all your opponents that are taking gear and taking shortcuts, and they know in their heart they took a shortcut, man. And you rock up and you can rip that 325 kilo deadlift and smoke them when you're half their body weight, or your 175 kilo bench, or a 290 squat. These are all things that I've done, single digits body fat year round, guys. I'm not saying this to toot my own horn to be like, I'm the best ever, because it's not, I'm not the best ever yet. But what I'm saying is that you can have these monumental achievements if you're just willing to put in the work and sacrifice. Track that food to the ground, get the right amount of rest and recovery, create your own training split, and then learn from where you're coming up short, if it's working for you, if it's not. Have that patience and perseverance and the grit to stay true to your values, true to your integrity, true to what you believe in, not compromising your health for a short-term vanity, rather sticking to it for the long term, realizing it's for life, treating the gym as the means to create a better man for your wife, for your kids, for your family, for your loved ones, for your friends, and be around with them for the long term, man. This isn't a quick fix. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time to develop, these attributes, this willpower, this mental tenacity, this perseverance, resilience. But that's why you have to keep going and keep showing up and keep going through it, guys, and not relying on anything outside of what's already in here in order to succeed. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate it. Let's get it.